In this lecture, we'll be discussing the system of separation of powers and checks and balances established by the Constitution. The framers believed that if one person or one institution gained too much power, they would abuse that power and become tyrannical. And so they divided power among three different branches of government. The primary branch of government is Congress, the legislative branch, which has the power to make law. The executive branch, which is primarily responsible for making sure that those laws are actually carried out. And the judicial branch, which is responsible for enforcing the laws. But separation of powers is not complete. Each branch of government has some control over the other two branches of government in a system that we call checks and balances. This can seem frustrating because it can lead to gridlock, but that's the way the framers intended it. They wanted all three branches to work together in order to pass laws. First, let's look at the checks that the other branches have on Congress. The most obvious is that when Congress passes a bill, the president can veto it, but that veto can be overridden by a 2/3 majority vote in both houses of Congress. The Supreme Court also has the ability to review whether laws passed by Congress are consistent with the Constitution. This is known as judicial review. Congress also checks itself because all bills must pass both chambers to become law, and as we'll discover later in the course, the House and the Senate are very different. Congress and the Supreme Court also have several checks on the president. As previously discussed, the president can veto any bill that's passed by Congress. In addition, the United States Senate must vote to confirm many presidential nominees, including all members of his cabinet and all federal judges. The vote is a simple majority. Congress also has the ability to impeach and remove the president from office. Impeachment is a two-step process. In the first step, the House of Representatives must approve one or more articles of impeachment by a majority vote. The second step is a trial in front of the United States Senate. If 2/3 of the senators vote to convict the president, he is removed from office. In American history, only Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton have been impeached by the House of Representatives, and neither one was convicted by the Senate. Another check is that the United States Senate must approve by a 2/3 majority vote all treaties negotiated by the president before they are ratified. Congress also has the ability to check the president by conducting investigations and holding oversight hearings. And just as the Supreme Court has the right to review the constitutionality of laws passed by Congress, it also has the ability to review constitutionality of presidential actions. There are actually more checks on the judiciary than on any other branch of government. As previously mentioned, the president nominates and the Senate must confirm all federal judges. Just as Congress can impeach the president, they can also impeach Supreme Court justices and other federal judges. Congress also has the ability to raise or lower the number of justices on the Supreme Court. There have been 9 justices for almost 150 years, but we've had as few as 5 and as many as 10. Congress also has the ability to create or abolish the lower federal courts. If Congress believes that the Supreme Court has interpreted one of its laws incorrectly, it has the ability to pass a new version of the same law, clarifying it. This is known as statutory reversal. In addition, if Congress believes the Supreme Court has incorrectly interpreted the Constitution, it can propose a constitutional amendment to correct the ruling. This has only happened 4 times in American history. Finally, if Congress is unhappy with the way the Supreme Court has been deciding certain kinds of cases, it can actually pass a law preventing the court from hearing any further cases of that kind. In legal terms, this is known as restricting the court's jurisdiction.